Today's screencast is about dynamics, how cars move before, during, after a collision. The first thing that we need to consider is that every vehicle has what's called a center of mass that's determined by weight distribution. And if we're being really accurate about it, because the engine is in the front, the center of mass is a little bit forward from the actual middle of the car, but for our purposes, we're going to call the very middle of the car, just to make it easier on all of us, the middle of the car is the center of mass. There's going to be some rotation around that center of mass during a collision. The vehicle motion and movement they have to be consistent with the center of mass. Any inconsistency might mean that there was a fake or staged accident. Here's some vocabulary terms that you'll need to know as we move through some of these accident reconstructions. Just the different pillars that we're talking about. The A pillar is here at the front, so we go in alphabetical order from front to back. The B pillar is between the front and rear doors. The C pillar is behind the rear door. And the D pillar is the back windshield. Depending on the make or model of the car, these may or may not all be present, but for the most part they are. So what you see here is how to draw vehicle dynamic arrows. So if we go to the previous slide, here, what you're looking at is the red dot is the center of mass. The yellow star is the point of impact. The blue arrow is the direction of the car before impact. And then the black arrow is the direction of rotation post-impact. So that's what we're looking at there. If you have a side impact, driver's side impact at the center of mass, it's basically going to move the car directly sideways. If you have a front impact to the right front, this car is going to push through the right front side, and the back of the car is going to rotate out and to the left. If you have passenger side rear impact, it's going to push the back of the car around, bring the front of the car around this way. Left front or left driver's side impact here is going to bring the front of the car this way and bring the back of the car around like this. And then right rear impact, driver's side rear impact, it's going to push the rear of the car around to the right, front of the car around to the left. Here's a field sketch showing the resting position if we're doing some accident analysis. What you have here in the dotted lines are the pre-impact paths of the vehicles. And then what you have here are the post-impact line or post-impact positions of the vehicles. Notice that it says not to scale. We have date and time. We have a compass pointing north. And then the information about who collected the information. Also notice you have little arrows showing the front of the car and direction of travel. It's very important because if you just have a rectangle, you don't know what direction is facing forward. Here's another accident reconstruction. You can see the star is the impact right here. Again, there's all the information about the particular collision. And again, you see little arrows showing the front of the car. And then you see some damage indicated here. How do people move inside the car during a collision? This is very important to know. Basically boils down to Newton's first law. Occupants will continue to move in the same direction when there's a change in motion in the vehicle. If we simplify that, oops, hold on. If we simplify that, occupants, because they continue on the same path, occupants will move toward the point of impact. That's just a good rule of thumb to remember. And then when we're looking at the inside of the car, it should match the occupant injuries. The injuries should match the occupant moving towards the point of impact. That should all kind of make sense together. Otherwise, again, somebody's got a back problem, they get in an auto accident, and they want to try and blame the auto accident on the back problem, or blame the back problems on the auto accident because they want to get their medical bills paid for by the other person's insurance. That all has to be checked out to make sure it all makes sense. Here are some other occupant dynamics drawings. So again, here, in a direct rear impact, occupants are thrown back into their seats towards the point of impact. Head-on collision, occupants will be thrown forward. T-bone impact, occupants are thrown against the side. Right front collision, occupants are thrown that way. They will continue to move in the direction that the car was moving, or they will continue sitting still even though the car is moving in another direction. We're going to take a look at these in class. If you'd like to take a look at them ahead of time, that's fine. We're going to take a look at them in class when we get a chance.